All right. 1.2 points per questions. And then you got 2 questions with a calculator, 9 points per question, 15 minutes per. 15 minutes per FRQ, and you will have 1.5 hours. That's roughly down to 9 times 6 is 54 points. The last 4 without calculator, that part is going to be very strenuous. You're going to feel like this is not going to be a normal test because this is the first time you take the AP math class. Unless you take physics before. Anybody take physics before? Before, last year. Last year you did? How's the last 2 FRQ? It's very, because by the time you get there, you're mentally already drained. So the last 2 FRQ usually are the one that you have to conquer, try to get as many points as possible. Okay. Yes.
How many questions, like how many parts are in each FRQ?
How many parts? Usually 3 to 4 parts. And they're pretty easy. We're going to show you how to do one. Only spend like 5 minutes. The one with the calculator, it's probably take 5 minutes.
They give you 15 minutes.
Yeah, they give you 15 minutes. But the one that we are going to do today, it really takes, like if you're good at what you're doing, it takes 5 minutes. But average student will take about 12 minutes. But you will still have 3 minutes to spare. Now, if you finish this 4 questions and you want to go back to the first 2 questions with the calculator, you can, but you just don't have calculator. So if you didn't know how to do the last 2 questions, you decide to go back, but you can, just no calculator. Okay, so this is 8 or 9 different topics I will choose from. I know my handwriting is bad. Some people have good handwriting, they can write it. The first one's differential equations. Slope field approximate a value. So approximate value using equation tangent line probably. So differential equation, slope field approximate a value. Usually that's one question. The second question, analyzing the graph, FTC. So something to do with FTC, you want to analyze the graph. The second question should be easy for you guys, hopefully. Approximate a value, like you want to approximate using the equation tangent line, and you have to worry about over or under approximation, so we're going to talk about those things. Analyzing the graph, FTC. Third question is rate in and rate out, which is what we're going to do today. Sometimes you got to do a Riemann sum, number sum. Riemann sum has right, left, midpoints, and trapezoid. You have to know all 4. Number 4, position, velocity, and acceleration. Total distance, total displacement, speed up, slowing down, furthest left, furthest right. All those are all included. Number 5, areas, volumes, disk, washer, cross section. That's number 5. 6, average value, rate of change, equation tangent line. Mean value theorem, intermediate value theorem, extreme value theorem, absolute, max, and min. All those should be in scattered out throughout different questions. 7, implicit derivative. You will have some implicit derivative. Sometimes it could be the whole question. Number 8, derivative and integral of the graph, table, and equation. This usually deal with chain rule, use substitution, L-Hopital rule. So those are kind of like a crash course I will go through FRQ. Any questions? Now we're going to go through one today. We're going to talk about this one. Because we did analyzing the graph, we never did rate law. This only one I didn't do is the rate law. Rate in and rate out. So let's talk about this question here. Oh, Emil, I think you had to pay to see the questions.
What? No, I didn't. Like for
SAT?
Yeah, they don't give you the actual question.
They give you the actual questions.
No, not for this. They only give you like the topic.
No, they give you like.
No, they give me the questions. I have student receive it.
And it was SAT, not PSAT.
SAT. You want to see it?
That's weird because I checked that box.
That's scammed, man.
You want to see why?
Must have been on the fake SAT site.
You're not rich enough. Just kidding. Pay to play, right? Here, come here. You can scroll through it. This is the one on Saturday. Is it? Are you taking the one on Saturday, or are you talking about school one?
No, the one I took in November. No, this is not this month. This was back in November. I don't know. This the one that just happened.
On Saturday, though.
Yeah.
Not on Wednesday.
I don't know. That's college board.
Yeah. She.
Maybe I need to go on a different website.
Wait a second, I'm like, oh, wait, what is? Yo.
All right, so we're gonna look at this particular questions, and we're gonna go in 2018 FRQ and see what kind of questions on that. Yep, this is 5 years ago. This is the first year I taught this. So the first question is rate in and rate out. There's people going on escalator. There's people getting off of the escalator. You're trying to figure out when is the most people on escalator and when's nobody in the escalator. Wait, what's going on there?
Oh no, I just couldn't see. So I just
Okay. So this is a rate in and rate out question. This is the second question. Shh. What question is this?
Wait, velocity acceleration.
Yeah, particle motions, acceleration positions, total distance, and yeah, it could be speeding up or slowing down. This question, it's FTC. Analyzing the graph, which interval are increasing, decreasing, concave up, concave down, point inflection, all that, and even area under the curve, slopes. Got it? This is with no calculator. This is what it look like. This one's Riemann sum, derivatives, slope, average rate of change, capital rho. Number 5. This is the one I talked about, the U substitutions, integrals, derivative, slope tangent line, absolute maximum, minimum values, differential equation, L'Hopital rules. The last one, what's this one? Slope field, usually accompanied with differential equations, which is, you look at the last part, find particular solution of y equal f of x given differential separation of variables. Yes, the 6th question, if you go by, then it's going to be pretty easy. So let's talk about rate in and rate out. We're going to go to 2017. Hopefully we have enough time to go through 2 questions, but if not, for sure 1 questions. So scoring guideline here. I don't want a scoring guideline. I want an actual FRQ. So we're going to look at these questions. This is a question. This is a very famous question. It's called rate in and rate out. I call it rate in and rate out. Yeah. This test has a banana and potatoes. Look at the question 3. Hold on. So there's a lot of memes from this test. It's potato question. This is a very infamous potato questions. The average score of this question is 1 out of 9 points. Average people score 1.2 points out of 9. Hopefully you get more than 1. Okay, let's look at this question. So I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to airdrop to you if you want it. I don't know. They just text me. But I asked them, do they pay for it? They say they pay for it.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Oh, you remember.
It doesn't have answer. Oh, it does have answer too. It told you what you get wrong. It told you what's the right answer. I went over all the questions yesterday with my SAT class. Wait, Austin, what you got on SAT math? What you got on SAT math?
Come on. You get bread.
Like 680, 690?
I got a 13. That's 19.
Not bad. We need higher though.
Yeah, I got 1350 marks. Then
It got lower. Happen. It happens sometimes. Okay. All right, let's look at this question. I'm gonna import to Notability, create new notes, import, done. First thing first, I want to talk about what you need to pay attention in the calculus sections. The first thing you want to write down in calculus section, especially those of you guys take AP physics, please make sure your calculator change your setting to radians. And please change it back to degrees after you take the AP Calc, because you're gonna have to use degrees again, and you don't want your calculator setting in radian and then be screwed the other one. So I'll remind you. So let's write down the things that you gotta pay attention on calculus section. So pay attention to this. Okay, first, radian only. So in calculus, in AP Calc, and you want to change it back if you're taking physics. Okay, so 2. How many digits should stop? If they don't worry about significant figure, which is nice. I hate significant figure. Those of you guys take chemistry or physics, you know how pain in the ass significant figure is. I never know when to stop. So it's 3 decimal places. So 3 decimal. So 2.193 and stop right there. Okay, so 3 decimal places. Third thing, never, ever graph integral. This is how you froze your calculator. Ever. Don't ever type in integral sign on the graphing part. Don't ever try. This where the circle thing come out and just keep on spiral. You don't want to do that. I think TI Inspire can probably push it a little bit faster, but it's still gonna stuck your calculator for a long time. You don't want to do that. Write down the equation. Write down the equations. Please, you cannot just say answer is 2.193. You have to say integral of ft between 1 to 3 is 2.193. Whatever. So write down the equation. So if you don't write it down, they don't give you a point. If you just got the right answer, they don't give you the point. Write down what did you do. Okay. 5. Pay attention to initial condition. Pay attention to initial condition. Always. You have to pay attention to initial conditions. And domain too. Because this affects this particular questions, you want to pay attention to domain. Number 6. If they ever ask you absolute maximum value or minimum value, use table as justification. Table. as justification. We will probably talk about it tomorrow. Use a table to justification. The table should including the endpoints and the critical points. So it should including both endpoint and critical points. So pay attention to all those things. You should be much better in the thing. Now let's look at this particular questions. Can I go to the question now? You guys want to read it first? Okay, so this is actually true things. It happens that you actually use true data. What happened is you go to grocery store is they start beginning of the day, they have a stocker, they already stock everything before the public's ever open. Banana is full on the shelf, and in the morning only old people shop. That's just a fact, because young people either working or go to school. Old people like 70 or 60 retire age go shopping in the morning. They don't need to restock the bananas. After a couple hours, when after all the old people shopping, now if somebody take away banana, you put it back one banana. No, you wait until the banana is consumed by a little bit. After a couple hours, then the stock will go back to stock the banana on it. And they are constantly stocking after that. From 3 to 12. Do you see that domain between 0 to 12 and 3 to 12? That's the domain you ought to pay attention, because that's going to give you boundaries. Are we okay here? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this question. I'm going to try to give you a new question. That's a homework. This question, I will highlight this. Do you see initial conditions? What is it? What is it? No. 50.
Oh.
Right there. Not all the time you have to use it, but put in mind, one part of the question have to use initial condition. Usually only one part. This is the rate out. This is the rate of removal. This is the rate in. This is stocking back. Now, one thing you have to know for rate in and rate out question, integration of the rate is equal to the amount of things. So integration, the rate of the removal is going to tell you how many banana you put it back. Also, if you want a total rate, so total rate usually is rate in minus rate out. Am I going too fast?
What's the derivative of the rate?
That's a good question. What's derivative of rate? So for example, part B, you see that. Derivative of rate is the rate of the rate. So if I ever says f of x, right? If I take a derivative of f of x, I'm going to tell you it's increasing or decreasing of the rate. Does that make sense? The rate is increasing or the rate is decreasing, because this is already rate again. If you take a derivative, it's going to tell you increasing or decreasing of the function, which is this, in this case, is the rate. Am I going too fast? Okay. I'll show you how to do the first one. The first one, some people can tell me what do you supposed to do. Like, give it a try first. Instead of just using calculator, I want you to set up. And meanwhile, I'll get your calculator ready. I don't want you to use calculator yet. I just want you to set up as a paper. How would you write that? How would you write it? Look at part A. What kind of stuff I need to write down? What kind of stuff you need to write down? Integral, good. No, that's good. That's good. Integral what? Between which two? Between where? 0 to 2. You already earned 1 point right here. Without using calculator, you already earn 1 point. Now, if you just write down the answer, you earn 0 out of 2. So you have to write this thing down. Between 0 to 2, ft dt. Now, I'm going to show you how to use calculator at this, right? So if I teach you how to use calculator, then the best way to use calculator is actually so I'm going to erase this part because this part's no longer needed, right? It's okay if I erase this? If I erase this, it's okay, right? Okay, I'm going to erase. So what you're going to do is integration ft dt between 0 to 2 for a. And then what you're going to do is this. You go into your calculator, guys. You're going to pretend you're graphing this. Either y1 or f1. You're going to type in this into f1. Now pretend you're graphing. I'm going to show you why you're doing that. You don't want to type in this equation over and over again, because more likely if you type it twice, once you type in all the things, you're going to get it wrong. So what I will do is I'll type in once. And this is what I'm going to type in. I'm going to pretend I'm graphing. Why do I pretend I'm graphing? But I'm not actually graphing. All I gotta do is do the outside screen. You're gonna say integration of y1 or f1 of x. Just use var. And between 0 to 2 and d to the x. Let's see what kind of answer you come up with. And remember, typing y1 first, because you can use it again for part B. You don't want to retype the whole equation. You want to store that equation into the calculator. Go to y1 or go to the f1 and type in the function. If you use TI Inspire, then you go to f1. You pretend that you're graphing that function, but you're not graphing that function.
Oh, I'm in other radians.
You're not in radian? Oh my
No,
god.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I'm about to like.
Oh, no, I didn't say that though. Where'd you hear that from? Oh no, did you say that? Exactly. I'm a radiant.
Wait, I say, what do you
Huh?
storing?
You store into y1 like you are graphing y1.
Oh, it's just F1.
F1, yeah. So for you, you copy like F1. You graph F1 of x of this, and then just go outside the screen to 0 to 2 y1. And how to get F1 is you do vars, and the first thing pop out should be F1 of x dx, and you should get a value here. In terms of calculator, what'd you get? What did you guys get? 20.051. That's perfect. Did you guys get that? Madeline, do you have a calculator? 20.051. Now, why did I say you store inside is better? Because you're going to use it again on the B. You don't want to retype that equation over and over again. You want to be efficient. You want to save enough time. At least you get a rest. Like you can actually fall asleep for like 10 minutes after the calculus section. Like take a mental break. You might not wake up. No, they will tell you to start part 2. Question about first one, A. Let's go to B.
But do they care about like
Let's
the
go.
units?
Oh yes, they do. So thank you for mentioning that. It's gonna be pound, and I think they didn't tell you to interpret the context of the problem. So in this case, it's just the first 2 hours. First 2 hours, banana is removed from the stand.
That only if it asks you.
Yeah, if they ask you, but they just say how many pound, then you just write down 20.051 pound. But if you see the second question says context of the problem, explain the meaning of the context, that one you really have to write out all the stuff. So remember, we already stored at y1, right? Do you remember that you stored it into the f1, the equation? You want to make sure that equation you type in is correctly, because you don't want to retype that equation again. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a derivative. So f1 is your f of x, right? F of t, right? Now let's do f2. You're going to do d to the dx of f1. Does that make sense? Go to f2 or to go to y2, graph the derivative. Now what's nice thing is you're going to go outside scrim. It could depend. If you have TI-84, you can says bar, and you get y1 of 7. No, y2 of 7. You don't want a y1 because you want to use a derivative one and plug in 7. The cool thing is they actually plug in 7 for you. Or if you are TI Inspire, you're going to use bar, and you're going to do y, you're going to do f2 of 7 like this. They will actually type in for you. What'd you get? Go to y2 and 7, but you have to assign y2 as a derivative of y1 because you want to find a derivative, plug in 7, right?
You have 8.11.
Negative 8 point what? 1 2
Negative 8.12.
0
Yeah.
3 decimal places. So they both get negative 8.120. Is that okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now you have to explain the meaning. What do you think the meaning is here? You have to write in the sentences. It's very easy. You're just gonna have to say right like this. You say it's a banana is removing at the rate, okay, the rate of banana. So rate of banana is removing at decreasing speed. Why is decreasing? Decreasing means implies the prime, imply the derivative. Because derivative is less than 0, is negative. So at a decreasing rate of banana is removing at a decreasing 8.120, right? Pounds per hour. No, not per hour, but per hour square. Per hour. Why? Because the rate is banana per hour, right? Now the rate of the rate is banana per hour square. Because you're adding another unit into it. I will show you the actual things, but this is what I will write down right now. You have to say the rate is decreasing. Because decreasing implied derivatives negative. Yes.
So you can also say slowing it down, right?
No, you say decreasing. Because you write down decreasing already, you don't have to put down negative, but you cannot put double negative. No. That would be positive, right?
But so, what would you write as the equation?
What do you mean? Oh, you don't have to write down. In this case, you're just gonna write down f prime of 7. This is the part you have to write down is equal to negative 8.120. So according to the scoring guideline, they say, I think I'll give you a better word from scoring guideline. It's probably better. They say after the store being open 7 hours, the rate at which banana is being removed display table is decreasing by 8.12. So not negative, because decreasing imply negative. At a 8.120 pounds per hour, which is per hour squared. Because you take a derivative respect to time, you will get a per hour after that. So it's a per hour per hour. Let's go to C. The C, what you're gonna do is what? What is C is asking? C is asking, is number of pound bananas display table increasing or decreasing at t equal to 5? So this is the part that you compare how much people are taking the banana away and how fast you stack things up there. Does that make sense? So we not compare the rate of banana removing. No, sorry. We are compare the rate of banana removing. But at the same time, we have to pay attention to rate in minus rate out. The rate in was G of 5. Does that make sense? So this I time 7th hour. And this one is G of 5 minus F of 5. Does that make sense?
We'll get to include at 7th hour.
Yeah, you have to say 7th hour, yes, because it's 7. Okay, so in this case, you're gonna do G of 5 minus F of 5 because what? G of 5 is the rate out, rate in, sorry, rate you're stocking, and F of 5 is the rate you're removing. So if you subtract that, what you get? Using your calculator, remember, you can use Y. This one is, you have to type in a thing, so you can do Y1 of 5, and maybe you need a Y4 or Y3. Y3 of 5, you should get a value. If you did it right, you should get negative 2.263, which is less than 0, which is the number of banana on this table is decreasing at t equal to 5. Why is decreasing? Because it's less than 0. The setup this part is going to give you 1 point. The answer is going to give you 1 point.
What was it again?
Negative 2.263. Did you guys get that? Okay, what the question, last part. They say, how many pound banana on this table at t equal to 5? How many? Well, you have to take a count, right? There are people restacking. There are people removing. There's also what? One more thing. Initial condition. So start at very beginning. You got a initial condition which is 50 plus G of t, right? Plus what? Between which two intervals? What do you think A and B here? Remove, this is a stock. 3 to 8? Why is 3 to 8? Go back, look at the question. It's actually 3 to 12, but they say 3 to 8. Yep. Minus from 0 to 8 of FTDT. So do you see why I told you you do not want to type those equations over and over again? Type in y1 and f1 so that way you don't waste time, because now you can use those. Then you don't have to ever type it again. You only had to check once. If you did it right, you should get 23.347. And you can say 23.347 pound of banana at t equal to 8. And you got 9 out of 9 here. That's why you don't want to type those equations over and over again, because you use them. Use g of t. For you, it may be f3, f4, I don't know. 23.347.
Can you explain how you got the equation for G?
Yeah, so I start with a 50. Banana is 50. Including the how much banana I stock on between 3 hour to 8th hour. Even though the domain is 3 to 12, but they want a t equal to 8. So those are the banana you put on the display table. You subtract the bananas being taken away from the table. Does that make sense? So this is put on the table. This one's removing away from the table. Yes.
So let's say instead of pounds, it was like actually the unit was bananas. So if we get a decimal, do we round down, or if it's like a whole unit?
They will tell you specifically how do you round those number, like a person, right?
Yeah.
You want to round up, like how many people in grocery store. You cannot say 23.347 person. You can say 24 person. There's no half person.
But if it doesn't tell you, you just.
You put that number, it doesn't hurt you, but it just doesn't make sense. But if it's a pound of banana, just 23.347 pound. Yes, yeah, you okay? You know how to use calculator?
Keep dying.
And we got the tone show. Wait for B. Why is it R squared?
Yes, yeah. I need you to learn how to use a calculator. This is the best shot you got here. Huh?
Reset my calculator.
Why? Just reset it.
Switch it out, bro.
You guys ready for the questions for homework?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna airdrop to you. Give me a second. I'm gonna airdrop 2 questions to you. Do you like fish?
Wait, so
I'm gonna airdrop to you. Hold on a second.
Three?
Got 3.
I got 3 too. No, Mary was showing them.
So this is the first question on your homework. Try it.
4.5, but I just didn't read. I think I got 0 on the FRQ though.
Oh wait, actually he's adding a point. If he's
Wait,
adding
for
a
what?
For
Number 3?
the pendulum on the EFC. Where it's like 0.2 meters down.
0.5.
I airdropped to you the question. Open your airdrop.
Holy, that's a high score right there. So,
Is that
I sent this late. I swear airdrop is racist.
Wait, how did the fish leave?
Oh, I see S9 now.
And you said his name is
I don't see you. Oh, I see you.
Wait, Mr.
Yahoo.
So the rate out, the equation that gave you, that means that that's how fast the bananas are being removed.
Yeah, it is.
But what about the
I was wondering why the calculator is so.
That is the rate of removing banana decreasing imply the derivative of it.
what does that mean? Like the derivative of the rate of the bananas being.
So there was just less people taken away. It's slowing down. People are taking away. As more time goes on, it's actually they are taking away. At first, they're taking a lot when the store just opened, right? And then when it start, like you know how at 2 o'clock usually is a dead time for grocery store because old people shop in the morning, young people shop after 5 o'clock after you get off work. Nobody shop at 2 o'clock, so the removing is decreasing.
But the explanation says that the rate bananas
Yeah, the rate of bananas removing is decreasing.
Function 2.
Okay, so you guys got a question? This question about fish.
So funny guys.
Aliana think it's funny.
Guys, let's allocate everything.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. Oh, okay. That was going too far. Yeah. He did that on purpose.
Obviously, you know there's a lot of meme after this. Fish is entering a lake at a rate model. And people put on their AP exams that I wish all the fish die.
How is fish walking? Then how did they get out of the lake, Bucko?
They can swim, you know that, right?
Actually. Okay.
Okay, this is the first question. Make sure you have calculator at home. How many fish enter the lake over 5-hour period from the midnight 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. or 0 to 5 a.m.? Give your answer at nearest whole number. Okay, there you go. That's your question you are wondering. This whole fish. B. What is the average number of fish living in the lake per hour over 5-hour period in the midnight? C. At what time between 0 to 8 is the greatest number of fish in the lake? This one you need a absolute maximum, so you need a table to justify. D. Is the rate of change of number of fish in the lake increasing or decreasing at 5 a.m.? So,
Oh, yeah, scan.
No, because it says it in the instruction. I don't have to fish.
the C is the hardest part here.
Wait, so for A, do we have to like put context or no? It doesn't tell us.
So,
No, let it just give you a whole number of fish.
you're only adding banana between 3 and 8, and your banana can remove from
What was the
0.
average number of fish
So,
leave the lake?
that tells you how many banana, the change in fish, and that tells you how much
Wait,
banana.
I can't even
So
read
that
this.
tells you how many pounds there are after 8 hours.
Oh yeah, that's oh, so you just say derivative of that?
Okay, I will give you 2 more questions at FRQ. This is the first
You can
one.
do anything to it.
Huh?
This is the only one we got.
Yep.
Yeah.
We gonna be doing the same.
We're gonna do all the FRQ till Friday. All, all the FRQ.
Like the one that you put.
No, you don't.
No, different FRQ. Different topics.
Yeah, like a different topic.
But this is the only one I didn't cover throughout the.
It's not.
It's because calculator, so. You have calculator at home? Listen. You have calculator at home?
Oh yeah, this is mine. I just needed to charge it.
I guess that. What's up? The calculator?
Oh, I found it. It goes crazy. I don't know.
Scientific calculator.
Yeah, it's not side. It's a little extra.
A TI-32? The TI-32X?
36. Bro! It actually grows on this thing.
Okay.
I mean, if I try hard enough.
There's no graphics.
I know. I don't know my calculator so much.
Hi, Matthew.
Here we go.
Is there more? Packet 5. What do I?
What you think?
I was like, okay.
That's better.
For the review on question B, which one did you choose?
The far left. Yeah.
Okay, me too.
Someone gets off of it. They're
She went here the other, at the first period.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very I was worried too.
I should go on the
I got 4.5.
I got 6 on
What? Are you serious? Are you serious?
physics.
What the hell?
Yeah, so
No way. Bro, what? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's crazy. At least I read the parents not
Simple harmonic division. Right, that's easy. So, it says like 2 plus 5. That's like, I don't know where it came from. Well,
Yeah.
For strings. When you go into practice, which practice? Very often. That is actually. Then your first meeting? Shut up. Your first time? First meeting? So, what did you think about the first one? It was good.
All right. How's everybody? Chilling?
What the? He's really good.
What the hell is Rebov? We're talking about important thing today, and then he's not here.
Something specific? No.
When did she do this?
All right, so you're gonna have some FRQ today. Well, we're gonna go over FRQ with calculator today. So let's talk about whatever we need to pay attention to. Holy shit. Holy shit. Wow, you're slow, Raghav.
Are you on? No. Not racing. We did it like no, I don't.
No.